Superstition is often treated as a harmless cultural quirk, a lucky object, or a ritual habit. But this mindset acts like a fog that rolls in and obscures our perception of reality. According to scholar Iman Motlagh Arani, these beliefs are an active barrier to human spiritual and intellectual evolution. Even in an era defined by advanced scientific understanding, we still find ourselves relying on astrology, lucky charms, and psychic speculation to navigate our lives. This happens because the human mind abhors a vacuum. When faced with the unknown, we are tempted to invent systems of meaning in a misguided attempt to gain control over events we don't yet understand. The fundamental error here is misplaced causality. We can observe a lightning strike as a massive electrical discharge in the atmosphere, governed by the laws of physics. Or, through the lens of superstition, we can interpret that exact same event as a cosmic punishment. By choosing the second path, we commit an ontological error, a mistake about the very nature of existence. We replace the actual, ordered reality of the universe with imaginary forces. These imaginary forces quickly become chains. Consider the widespread fear of the number 13, or the concept of the evil eye, the belief that a malevolent glare can cause real-world misfortune. Neither of these concepts possesses any physical or structural reality. Their only power is the psychological weight we grant them through our own belief. This belief triggers a distinct behavioral loop. When we misplace cause and effect, we begin to anticipate negative outcomes, which generates anxiety. That fear leads to passivity, trapping us in a state where we avoid action to avoid imagined harm. The danger of superstition is self-enslavement. The mind projects its internal anxieties outward, creating supernatural threats that halt independent thought and block our progress. Breaking out of this loop requires logical reasoning. Far from being the enemy of faith, reason is the protective tool required for authentic spiritual growth. Objective analysis begins by isolating the claim, separating the visceral, emotional fear from the actual physical event. This requires independent investigation. We have to reject inherited dogma to see if the claim aligns with empirical science and observable reality. Next, we test the causality. If there is no logical link between two events, like an arbitrary action like a sneeze influencing a future outcome, the claim must be discarded. Finally, we align our findings with authorized divine truth. This means actively rejecting spiritualistic tricks or psychic claims that have no foundation in the sacred texts. By systematically applying these steps, we restore our intellectual agency and safely bridge the gap between faith and empirical reality. This use of logic does not mean we strip all mystery from the universe. Rather, it allows us to redefine spiritual concepts without fear. Take the concept of angels. Instead of viewing them as magical winged creatures, we can understand them as metaphors for human souls that have attained pure divine attributes. Similarly, jinn are not monsters haunting the physical world. They are representations of imperceptible psychological forces or hidden traits within our own character. When we purify our metaphysical language through reason, we reclaim sacred symbols from the realm of folklore and transform them into tools for inner transformation. This is a tool designed for the empirical discovery of the heavens. Abandoning psychic speculation allows us to inhabit a universe where science and religion are in total agreement. Making this shift requires replacing fear-based rituals of protection with intentional spiritual reflection. One mechanism for this is remembrance, or Dhikr. Intentionally focusing the mind on the divine interrupts the brain's automatic fear loops, grounding the individual back in the present moment. The pursuit of objective truth yields human dignity and active agency. We stop being objects acted upon by shadows and become subjects who act with clarity. Dismantling these idols of superstition strips away the heavy veils of imagination that stifle growth. When the mind is no longer occupied by false threats, it attains the certitude and clarity required to finally see reality as it is.